Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This will be a range test during winter. We have currently 0 degrees and I'm in a BMW X3 30e. The car is from 2020 and the estimated range by BMW on full electric is around 45 kilometers, but this is very much, and during winter you will not be able to attain these values. I will restart my journey and here we go. This will be basically the real range that you will have. I will try to go as low as possible, not accelerating very fast. I will try to follow the speed limit. I will try also to go a little below it. This is basically a hypermiling test of how much range you would be able to get during the winter. Right now the car shows minus 0.5 degrees Celsius. We're in Romania at the moment and it's 6:30 in the afternoon. I try to do this test when the roads are a bit not so, when we don't have so much traffic. Yeah, so I will try to as you can see, it's winter, we don't have too much room. Authorities didn't clean the snow very well. This is why we have so much snow and we cannot pass in the same time. As you can see, the most important thing that I like in BMW cars, in BMW cars, because this is how you're supposed to say it, BMW, is that it shows you the instant consumption even in electric mode. So right now we are about 65 kilowatts per hour per 100 kilometers. So pretty high consumption. You don't see that in Tesla. I would like to see that in more competitors. This is basically a European specification. You don't see this mainly in States or in Asia. So let me give you a bit of the insights about the car. I will not film the entire journey. You will see exactly how I am trying to perform this test. I'm not going very slow, not very fast. I just try to obtain as much range as I could possibly. I have the climate set to 20 degrees with AC on, because the AC cools the battery and warms the battery. It keeps the battery healthy, and you have to run the car with AC on if we want to preserve the battery of this plug-in car. So we have a bit of traffic here, not very. I was hoping to have less traffic, but we have a lot of traffic actually. Should I try to go the other way? Let's see if someone lets this guy. I will go the other way, but I will not. No. So one thing I don't like about this car is the punch that you get when you try to move the car in pure EV. It's brutal. If you it kicks you in the back. especially in cold weather. Yeah. So the car, I have it for about 2 years. Most of the electric I've done it during basic commute, work, school with my daughter. So I try to maximize the EV range during the city drive. And in the past 2 years I've done around 50,000 kilometers, from which 26,000 kilometers were only in EV mode. Right now the car sits around at about 104,000 kilometers. Nothing has broken. It has almost 6 years right now. It's out of warranty. I paid for it about 2 years ago 40,000 euros. You can do the conversion in your desired currency. And I think I've lost in depreciation about 10,000 euros or more. So even though this car was an used car, you still lose a lot of money. Yeah, but compared to my previous vehicle, which was a diesel Ford Kuga, 2-liter diesel, all-wheel drive, it saved me in petrol about 3,000 euros during these 2 years of usage, just from petrol. I'm not talking about maintenance. Maintenance on this car is very expensive. I mean, not the usual maintenance, oil and filter and air filter and habitacle filter. I'm talking about the other maintenance that you have to do in order to keep this car running and be able to depend on it, not being stranded on the road. Just to give you an idea, the usual maintenance is about 300 euros, and I do it each 10,000 kilometers that I do with the car just in petrol mode. I mean, if I have mixed driving with electric, I will just take into account when I make 10,000 kilometers just in petrol mode. Yeah, so I did about two maintenance for this during the 50,000 kilometers that I've done, because most of the kilometers I did them in EV mode. And what I did as a preemptive maintenance, you have to change the oil in the gearbox, you have to change the oil in the xDrive, and you have to change the oil in the front differential and rear differential. If you don't do this, your gearbox will probably fail at around 200,000 kilometers. And it's a very expensive one, so I paid around 900 euros for this maintenance, preemptive maintenance. Next year I have to change the additional battery, which will be around 500 euros, and the oil change, which will be 300 euros. So nothing has broken, but you have to take into account that you have to do some additional maintenance to preserve this car up and running normally. Yeah, so as you can see right now, we are down to 39 fuel consumption on EV mode, and I will not try to film the entire journey because it will be a bit longer, and you don't need to waste so much time. And I will come back when the battery will be at half of the percentage shown here. Another thing that I want to mention is that the first half of the battery lasts more than the other half. I'm not sure how BMW does this, but there is a lot of reserve, like 1 or 2 kilometers for this kind of battery. 10.6 kilowatts net capacity, 2 kilometers is a lot. 1 to 2 kilometers during the winter, and during warmer period you will have 3 to 4 kilometers buffer. Once it doesn't show any more range, it will just show some lines over there. The range will disappear entirely. So it has a lot of buffer, this car. So the roads will be like this. I will get back to you once we are down to 50%. Yeah. Don't forget, if you want to ask me anything about the car, any stats, or I don't know, if you are wondering what things might interest you in this car, or what where you're planning on buying one, you can ask me in the comments and I will try to respond you. Yeah, so see you in a bit. So we are back, guys. We're almost down to 50%, and we have done 14.9 kilometers, almost 15 kilometers with half the battery. The fuel consumption sits at around 30.8, so it's very high. Considering the car is almost 6 years old, and the battery of course is 6 years old, we will not have the full capacity of 10.6 kilowatts. We will have less, but we will see at the end how much range we can do. So right now the left range, it's 10 kilometers with half the battery. As I said, the first half of the battery lasts longer. It offers you a bigger range. I'm not sure how BMW has calculated this, but basically this is not half the percentage. I had to brake once because even though it's almost 7 o'clock, I have a lot of traffic on a Sunday afternoon. But this gives you a real idea of how the car will behave when you encounter this type of situation. And also we're still having the climate set to 20 degrees, and we are not doing any economy on climate. I don't like it very hot because I used to wear my jacket on. I don't like to take it off, take it on, and so on. Hopefully on this stretch of the road we'll have less traffic, but we will see. I really enjoy this car, to drive it, I mean. That's why I bought a BMW, even though I knew that the range will not be great. We cannot even compare it with an electric car, because usually the plug-in vehicles don't have the same type of electric engine, don't have the same efficiency, so they will be less efficient. The main advantage that you have with this car is that you can charge it at home, if you can charge it, and you can do a stretch of around 30 kilometers, 20 in the winter in a hard traffic, in a Bucharest for example. You can do 20 kilometers in this minus 1.5 degrees Celsius, and really hard traffic you can do almost 20 kilometers, so that should be enough to get you to your workplace. And if you have the chance to charge there, it will be great. If not, you will have to come back in petrol. Sometimes I have where to charge it, sometimes I don't have, depending on how many people are coming to work and charging their vehicles. I wished I had at least more 10 kilometers of range. That will be great in the winter, especially because this is the main disadvantage. In the winter the range drops a lot. This is the same case with all electric vehicles, with all vehicles that use batteries. But yeah, all in all, the car is great, the power is great. When you need the power, you have the power. It could be a little bit annoying, this car, if you are trying to use it as a normal hybrid vehicle, like you use, for example, a Toyota that is not plugged in. It would be a bit annoying because the engine starts and stops always. It also tries to charge the battery a bit each time you start the engine. You cannot go over that without charging it, and it will consume a lot of petrol to charge the battery 1 kilometers at least. So that's why when my advice is that when you don't have any more battery, switch in sport mode, because in sport mode the engine always stays on, and you don't charge the battery by running the engine. You will charge it just by braking and by letting the car coasting. Also like the headlights on this car, they are really good, especially the high beams. They are really good. Right now we have a lot of fog, so you cannot see it very well, but they are good headlights. 30 kilometers, guys. So we managed to do 30 kilometers, and now the engine kicked in at 30.1 kilometers. As you can see, as I told you before, the fuel consumption is very high, 12.0, because right now the car tries to charge the battery a bit, and I will switch to sport individual because this is the mode in which I drive when I don't have battery. I have configured this mode to have the engine in sport and everything else in comfort, the gearbox and the steering. So yeah, this is it, guys. We have done, if we go here to my trips, you will see here 30 kilometers with full battery. The consumption right now, it starts to drop because it mixes with the petrol one, but the consumption was around 27. That means we consumed about 8.1 from the battery. What I've seen right now, the capacity of the battery is around 9, so yeah, this will give us the, I will try to, no, I cannot stop here because the shop is closed. I think I will have to stop somewhere else. So I will be back, guys, to show you the final numbers once I get back home. Thank you for watching and see you in a bit. Hi guys, so here we are at the end. Let me stop the car, put it in park. So I had to deplete again the battery because I have charged 1.4 kilometers during my way back home, and I wanted to let you know how much range I have. So this is the app. As you can see, the battery, here you see the full autonomy, and here you see the charging of the battery. It has 12%. So during cold weather we cannot deplete the battery lower than 11%. As you can see, I still have the blue line here, meaning that I can be assisted below 20% of the power. So this here indicates the power that it's delivered via the propulsion that you use. So in order to use the e-boost, you have to kick down. You will still have e-boost even though you have no battery left in the car. You will still have for about 10 seconds the e-boost as advertised by BMW. And in the left side you will see that the maximum speed that you are allowed to drive in this condition, up to 60 kilometers per hour. So this is the full range during winter, cold weather, fog, not so hard traffic, not accelerating hard, not braking hard. The maximum speed was about 70 kilometers. And let me show you a bit the dates since I have the car. So this is individual since the last maintenance. I always reset it. So this is the total mileage of the car. As you can see, 103.6 thousand kilometers, from which 38,800,000 kilometers are in just electric. The average consumption is 5.5. but once you deplete the battery, this car will consume about 7.9 liters per 100 kilometers. This is my average consumption in full petrol mode since I have the car. So this is it, guys. If you need to know anything about the car, if you want to know anything, just let me know in the comments below, and see you later in the next video. Bye.